Okay, and we're back. We're back with our next presenter and the next stream. And this is the final presentation for today's sort of event itself before we move into the roundtables just after this. So I'd like to welcome Prem Maheshwaran. Hi, Prem. Prem is ITSM evangelist at ManageEngine. So thank you for joining us today, Prem.
Thank you, David. I believe I can take over this, right?
Yeah, you should be able to now. There we are. Your slides are ready to go already. Thank you, Prem. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, David. Hello, everyone. Today, I'm going to have a discuss on a quick topic, commission a hyper-efficient incident management production line. So I'm Prem Maheshwaran. I'm a Service Desk Plus product expert from ManageEngine. So before we go into the discussion, I'd like to give a quick introduction about ManageEngine. ManageEngine is the IT infrastructure management software division of Zoho Corporation. We are a bootstrapped, private, and a profitable company with 18 plus years of expertise in engineering IT management solutions. We've got 180,000 customers and more than 2,500 employees globally, and we have engineered 90 plus IT management products and free tools, and our footprint is in more than 190 countries. Service Desk Plus is ManageEngine's service desk software offering. It's an ITIL-ready service desk software with asset management and enterprise service management capabilities. Service Desk Plus is in the market since 2005, trusted by more than 100,000 customers worldwide. It's available in 37 languages and offered in on-premises and cloud versions. The cloud version is hosted in our own data centers. All right. So today we're going to discuss how we can crank up the efficiency by standardizing your ITSM processes. So let us take a look into it with a small analogy and an example. So let's take a production line in a factory. Every 60 seconds, a car is assembled in the production line of an automobile manufacturer, and it boasts 98% efficiency. The assembly line manager, in order to achieve this efficiency, has to overcome many hurdles. The first hurdle is blind spots. So without real-time data and information, it will be very, very difficult for us to forecast and foresee potential issues and correct them, be proactive in our approach. Performance lag. It will take a long time for us to build a new line, right? So if there is a change in the process, if there is a correction or improvisation, since you are following a very, very standardized process with rigid workflows, it will be very, very difficult for us to build new lines. And also service light oversight, right? So reviewing and correcting the mistakes, it's taking a long time. So these are some of the hurdles that we have even with production lines. So I'm going to show a small example and demonstrate how you can overcome these hurdles with the help of Service Desk Plus. So in our examples, I'm going to take a renewable energy company, which has engineers in many countries. So the problem they have is one of their project folders from their cloud drive is missing. The company has to handle this the incident very efficiently, right? So a major incident is logged that one of the folder is missing. So project 05 is the folder which is missing from one of the servers. Approximately 300 users were unable to access the folder, which impacts a lot of projects that are happening in this, going on in this company. And we got all the other details. So let's take this example incident and let's apply this incident to learn more about Service Desk Plus. So the defects that you have in this example, data blind spot. Without audit logs on the storage level, the company had no insight on what caused the incident. So that is the first problem. They have a data blind spot. Second, the restoration lag. It took a long time to recover the folder since the storage team underestimated the folder size. So they tried to recover the data from a copy, but they couldn't do it because the size of the folder is too huge and they never knew it, right? Renewal oversights, the license of the tool that maintains the audit logs. They had a tool, it's running, but they forgot to renew the license, and that stopped the logs from getting recorded. So these are the three defects that they had, which amplified this issue. So let us take a look into the workflow and its pitfalls. So this is a very standard workflow many organizations follow to handle incidents, right? The tickets come in from various modes: self-service portal, phone call, and different channels. So the first step is triaging. We assess the nature and the impact of the incident. A ticket is logged. We analyze whether it's a major or a minor incident. If it's a major incident, it is going to be forwarded to an incident response team, uh, a high impact incident response team, where you have incident managers, coordinators, and various other teams that has to be onboarded to resolve this incident. So we log a major incident record, communicate it to our stakeholders, and then we initiate root cause analysis, figure out what goes wrong, and fill it in. Now let's come to the pitfalls that are there in the standard process. The first one is the blind spot. So we don't have information from logging mechanisms, monitoring mechanisms. So that is the first blind spot. So without this information, it will be very difficult for our engineers to work on the issue. Renewal oversight, once again, they missed to renew the logging application's license, which caused a major problem. And finally, the lag of restoration. So in order to restore such a huge folder, it'll take time, and they did not anticipate it. All right, so taking this example, we are going to dive into the product. I'm going to show Service Test Plus and also show you the features and functionalities that can help us overcome these issues, for which I'm going to use the cloud version of Service Test Plus. So Service Test Plus is available both on on-premises as well as cloud models. So as you can see, the self-service portal has multiple help desks. You have got housekeeping, facilities, IT, HR, and travel. So you can add more to it. So Service Test Plus supports enterprise service management. So you can build different help desk instances for each and every department, right? And also you have got an Omni search bar. When a user comes to the enterprise service management portal, he can type in the keywords. So say, for example, he has an issue with Wi-Fi. You can type issue and it will bring results from various help desks. And also I can choose from what modules the results have to be. If the IT team or other help desk teams had made any announcements, the announcements will be listed here. Solutions and request templates. Say, for example, if there is a planned maintenance activity against the Wi-Fi. So as soon as you type Wi-Fi, the announcement will pop in that will reduce the volume of calls being reported for known maintenance activities, right? So with the Omni search, end users will get ease of access to all the forms that you have built from various help desk instances. Now let's get into IT help desk. So that is where you can see all the modules available in Service Test Plus. So this is the enterprise edition of Service Test Plus, which has got ITIL as well as projects attached to it, right? So as soon as a technician comes into Service Test Plus, he can view the dashboard. Dashboard will give insight about the performance of the help desk. So it will show information about the IT projects problem. You can build pretty much dashboard for every module and publish it. And also you can customize dashboards. So if you want to pass information that is so relevant and that makes more meaning to your CIO, you can build a dashboard out of the data that's available in the IT help desk, and you can share the dashboard directly with your CIOs and other executives. So this feature allows you to give runtime information to your executives, right? Now let's get into the request module. So this is where all the incidents and service requests that are logged by our users will come into. So this is the time, this is where your technicians will spend a lot of time using Service Test Plus. To log a new incident, the users have to go into the new request, and that is where they can see the service catalog. So as a first step towards building a new service test, the first thing that we do is create a service catalog. So here you can create different categories, and under each and every category, you can set up new templates for services and logging incidents. So here I have created a few sample ones, and I'll quickly show you how you can do that, for which I'll take you to the setup page where you can find different templates for different modules. So service templates are there, incident templates, problem change, etc. So these templates will allow your users and technicians to log records into Service Test Plus very quickly. So under service categories, you can create different categories. And under each and every category, you can create different services and incident templates. So let me quickly take you into the service request template form. So once again, this is a plain canvas which can be completely customized as per your requirements. So by default, it has got a lot of system default fields. In addition to it, you can create your own custom fields, drag and drop into the canvas, and the canvas will have the new field, right? So you can customize it, create sections, and also you can build questions into the form, which can be loaded interactively. So based on the answers given by your user, you can load the next set of questions, right? And give them options. So this kind of customization will allow your end users to sequentially answer to the questions that you need to ask, and then get all the information into Service Test Plus. So that will come in handy for onboarding new hire into your organization. When someone asks for a new gadget, you can ask questions like what kind of gadget he wants, what kind of accessories he wants along with the gadget, what kind of subscription he wants with the gadget, and all the applications that are needed in the gadget. So all that can be captured with the help of resource questions, which is questions that you can build into the application, right? So this form customization applies even for incidents. So for different types of incidents, you can customize the form and publish it to the end user. And coming to SLAs, Service Test Plus has two set of SLAs, one for service request and one for incidents. So that will allow you to create two set of SLAs, right? So the SLAs for service requests can be a little relaxed compared to that of incidents. And also the escalation layer can be completely different for service request and incidents. So you don't have to struggle with one set of SLA. Instead, you can have two separate set of SLAs completely customized to work with service request and incidents. And talking about approvals, once again, there is a separate section that allows you to build the approval layer. So in Service Test Plus, you can create the hierarchy of your organization with organizational roles. So org roles is where you build the hierarchy of your organization. So by default, we have got many layers. So you've got organizational level layers where you can have all your executive members, regional layers, site layers, department level roles, group level roles, etc. So when a user from a particular department reports an incident or request for a new gadget, the notification for approval can be automatically routed to their department head or the department in charge. We can build multiple levels for approvals, and we can pass the approval one after another to various roles, right? So this gives us ease to map users to the roles, and whenever there is a change of designation in the approval layer, it will be easy for us to map the new person along to the role, right? So this can be consumed for approval. So automatically, when a new service request is reported or raised, a notification can be triggered automatically to this organizational roles, and the approval can be captured, recommendation can be captured, right? So once the approval is given, then we can delegate the work to different teams and members with the help of tasks. So particularly when we talk about onboarding new users, there will be a huge list of tasks that has to be performed, that we have to perform, right? So that is where delegating the work will come in handy with the help of tasks. We can add tasks, right? So, and attach it to an instant. So that way we can delegate the work to a team member, one of your team members, or to a complete team, right? You can assign it to the network team. So one of the members of the network team can pick the task and work on it, and the task will contain the request information, the information from the request, right? So let's go back into our example. So where there is a problem with one of the projects folder in an engineering company. So this is the request list view, which gives you maximum information about an incident or a service request. So here I can search on the columns, right? So this is the incident that has been logged for the issue that they have with the projects folder. So one of the folders missing. All the information about the incident can be captured in the request details, right? So this is where I can mark the level, impact, urgency. Based on the impact and urgency, we can populate the priority of the request. And based on the priority, SLA will be automatically applied on the request. Category, subcategory, and item will help you to triage, and it can capture the description as well. So these are pretty standard for any help desk, right? So in addition to that, you can also associate third-party software. So Service Desk Plus allows you to integrate many other applications. So in our case, I have associated a Jira instance. So if at all I want to log a bug in Jira, I can do that. If I want to associate a problem to this incident, I can do that. I can raise a change directly from here. I can connect multiple incidents together. All that can be done. So all the standard housekeeping that you have to do when a new major incident is logged can be achieved right from the page. You don't have to leave anywhere. Instead, I can build custom menu. So I can even integrate meeting applications, right? Zoom or Microsoft Teams can be integrated right into the request details page. So the technician, without leaving the page, can jump into the third-party tool, pass the information from this incident into the third-party tool, also retrieve information from other tools and populate it inside Service Desk Plus, right? So this is pretty much standard. So tasks, once again, will help us to delegate work. Resolution. So once you figure out what is going wrong, you can log the resolution right inside the incident and push this resolution as a solution into Service Desk Plus. So in Service Desk Plus, we call knowledge-based solutions. So here is where you can build your solution articles. So building solution articles is always a hard task if it is done separately. So that is why we have integrated building solutions into the incident management process. So whenever a technician finds out a new solution, he can write the solution as the resolution article and push it into the solutions module, where a senior technician can moderate the solution, review it for language, review it for the content, and then publish it to the end users or only to the technicians. So that way, the population or building of solution articles is integrated into the incident management process. So some of the cool things that I want to show here is task dependency management. So sometimes you cannot initiate all the tasks at once. So we have to build dependencies between tasks. So that is where task dependency mapping will help you with it. So let me quickly build a few tasks. All right, so I have added one more. Right, so these two tasks has to be initiated to resolve this incident. So, but not parallelly. I have to initiate it one after another. So here with the task dependency mapping, I can map it to a parent task. So that way, for this particular incident, first identifying the root cause would be my primary task. Once that is done, I can then go to collecting CPU data, right? So I can build tasks to be executed one after another with the help of dependencies, and that too with a graphical workflow builder. So speaking of workflows, Service Desk Plus also supports you to create a life cycle for the incident. Right, so automation layer has life cycle for requests as well as problems. So let me quickly take you into the request life cycle that I have built for various processes, right? So if it's a major incident, then I have a workflow that's already published, right? So as soon as the incident is logged, the first step is to transition into the analysis phase. So all these rectangles are statuses. So these are different statuses that I have built. And once again, it's customizable. I can build how many hour statuses I want and consume the statuses into my workflow. I can drag and drop. So say, for example, I need to triage. I want to keep triaging as one of the statuses. So I can then redirect triage into the workflow. I can introduce triage as one of the stages in the workflow. So if you want to use the analogy of a production line, so this is the production line that I have built, and each and every rectangle is a station where the product has to stop for some of the operations to be performed. So when I stop in a particular station, I can perform actions, right? In each and every stop, I can initiate a set of actions that has to be that has to happen. So first thing that I can do is collect information. So in order for me to pass a ticket from open status to analysis, I have to collect information like group, item, impact, etc. All these are field information that I have to capture or gather from the end user. So that can be filled in the during the transition. And once the transition happens, then I can configure a rule that will perform the action. Right? So the rule can also be executed on a conditional basis. So if you want to give you an example, if your CEO asks for a gadget, you can bypass the approval. No rule will be executed, you can bypass it. When an employee asks for a new gadget, then it has to go through the approval process. So these are two separate processes depending on the job role, right? So conventionally, we have to build two separate processes, but with the rule set that we have in the workflow, you can take conditional actions, you can perform conditional actions. If the job role is of CEO, then it can bypass the approval sequence and it can pass it on to the next step, right? So actions can be triggering a task, adding a task, triggering a webhook, run a custom function. In Service Test Plus, we call the scripts as custom functions. So Service Test Plus will allow you to build custom functions that can invoke API requests, which can perform operations within Service Test Plus and also with third-party applications like Jira or Microsoft Teams, etc. So as a part of triaging, you want to create a channel in Microsoft Teams and initiate a chat. That can be done with this particular option available in the request lifecycle. Right? So the advantage of building life cycles is you can create standardized processes for different type of requests. For a service request, you can have a completely different type of workflow, which can be attached to the form that you have built. So the next section that I want to talk about is the problem management module. So once a major incident is identified, a new problem has to be raised. So you can do it directly from the ticket page, directly from here. So I have already created a problem and associated to the incident. I can jump into it. It will have the problem information taken from the incident. So the advantage of having a very well-connected modules inside Service Test Plus, it can pass the information from one module to another. From the incidents module, I can pass the information back into the problem module, and from problem, I can pass into the change module, etc. And also I can consume information. So Service Test Plus also has asset management and configuration management database. So assets will have inventoried information like the hardware details of the asset, as well as the software details of the asset, right? So this kind of information will be really helpful if it shows there in the incident, problem, or change. So when you're working in a problem, if you have the information about a server that is having a problem, it can be consumed and it can be used, all right? So remote inventory is possible even in the cloud version of Service Test Plus. So we have a probe software that can be deployed in your premise, and with that probe, you can collect, scan the hardware and software details of your assets and push it into Service Test Plus and consume it for incident problems and changes, right? Configuration management database is there, which will allow you to build relationships that exist between your assets. So all these are configuration items that I can add into the application, and it can be used for making better decisions with change management or initiating a root cause analysis using the problem management module, right? So in our example, there is a particular case where the IT team forgets to renew the licensing of a particular application. So that is where contracts in Service Test Plus will come in handy. So all your new contracts can be added into Service Test Plus. So it can be a maintenance contract, can be a warranty contract, can be a software license contract. All these can be added, and you can set the validity period of the contract. And once it expires, I can trigger expiring notifications, right? So in the automation layer in Service Test Plus, you've got a lot of options available. So I can write business rules. So based on conditions that are there in the incident, I can perform operations automatically. So business rules will help me achieve that, right? So service level agreements, once again, it's available for incidents as service requests. Life cycles, I can build processes and store it inside Service Test Plus, and it can be attached to the templates, right? In addition to that, we have also got few more automation options available. So if you want to convert your ITSM practices into a hyper efficient production line, we have to effectively make use of these automation options available in the application. And also there is a developer space available, right? So if you want to build more buttons inside your request page, so customize a menu option to log a bug record in Jira, to initiate a Zoom meeting in order to collaborate in a better way, all that can be built and stored inside the request details page, right? So all these options available that can make the process work very effectively, right? So the final and the last feature that I want to talk about is the chatbot. ZIA, which stands for Zoho Intelligent Assistant, is integrated into Service Test Plus. So this chatbot will allow you to create a bot and deploy it in various portals. So it's an embeddable chatbot. So if you want to publish it into your organization portal, you can do that. It'll also be available in the self-service portal. So this chatbot can be used in the web console as well as in the mobile console, right? So you can talk to this chatbot. It can understand natural language, as well as it can convert voice to chat. So with that, we can get information. We can from Service Test Plus, we can perform actions inside Service Test Plus, right? So with the help of this ZIA chatbot, you can talk to it and perform operations on the go. So these are some of the new features that we have added into the application. So projects, once again, so this is one more important module that will help you to perform IT and non-IT projects. So as a part of incident lifecycle, if there is a change that is logged and the change requires a project to be initiated, all that can be linked together, right? So, and in Service Test Plus, the project is broken into 3 layers. It's a 3-layer design, wherein a major project can be broken down into a milestone, and a milestone can further be broken into tasks. The task is the grassroots level, right? And the advantage of the projects module in Service Test Plus is you can use it for both IT and non-IT modules, where we don't have any license restriction for how many people, how many members have to take part in the project, right? So you can have how many ever you want, and then initiate the project, compare the actuals as well as all right, so estimates. So once that is done, the project can be completed and passed on. So reporting will allow you to construct reports from the data that you have stored in various modules. So in addition to all the reporting options available in Service Test Plus, we also have Zoho Analytics. That is one more product from the ManageEngine umbrella. So Zoho Analytics is a cloud-based analytics solution, which has preloaded dashboards that supported for Service Test Plus, so which will give you more information. In addition to that, we have got drill down analysis, query reports, etc. All these options will allow you to construct beautiful reports, and the reports that you have constructed along with the graphical data can also be pushed back into the dashboard. So the dashboard of Service Test Plus can be stored with your custom report, which can run runtime whenever the dashboard loads. All right. So any report that you have constructed can also be embedded into the dashboard. So with that, we have come to the conclusion of this demonstration. So some of the key points that I want to reiterate before we complete this presentation. So get a blind spot, how you can overcome is making use of automation options like business rules, notification rules, creating a custom support group. All the resolver groups in Service Test Plus can be created as support groups. And finally, ManageEngine integrations. So the API of Service Test Plus for majority of the operations are published. So 95% of the operations are published. So you can make use of the APIs to perform operations within Service Test Plus as well as outside Service Test Plus. Right? Service Test Plus has request lifecycles that can help you create standardized processes for both incident as well as problem modules. And renewal oversight, you can consume configuration management database data into incident, problem, and change modules, as well as asset management will help you to remotely discover the asset information and consume it. So with these, I would like to conclude my presentation and all the very best to breeze past all your incidents. So if you want more information about Service Test Plus, you can always shoot an email to hello@servicetestplus.com. So I'm open for any questions now.
That's great. Thank you very much indeed, Prem. That's very comprehensive there. Thank you. Now, we've not received any questions through the console, which is good because there's an opportunity, obviously, right after this one at 3:30 for our listeners to jump into the various rooms that are going to be available for the sessions. Now, I'm just going to put a slide up, Prem. Thank you for that.
Sure.
Which hopefully everybody will see there. Okay, so Prem, that was great. Thank you very much indeed. Look, we're going to move on, and hopefully, if you could ready yourself for the live sessions, that would be fantastic. Good. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prem. So that's it. It's been a great day. Last of today's live presentations, but the day, as we know, doesn't end there, and you should see that on the slide there as well. We now have a virtual roundtable session, so you can join any of today's presenters directly to ask questions, multiples if you want, move between the groups or the teams if you want to network and learn more. It's very easy to access the sessions. You can access that by two ways, really, either through the event app using the agenda icon, scrolling down to the bottom and then selecting your session, or using the web browser using today's event page and then scrolling again down the bottom and to click on a session. As you join, you can use your webcam as you join, and you can also switch it off after entering as well, should you wish, whatever you're comfortable with. There's a huge amount of knowledge and experience that you can tap into by joining the virtual roundtable. So I urge you to take as much away from this as you possibly can and join those sessions. It's been a real pleasure today. Great listening and seeing what all our event partners have been up to recently and what they have in their tools and what they're talking about and focus on right now. So thank you to them. Thank you to our event partners for joining us and sharing their thoughts of the day. If you haven't yet, we'd really be happy if you could fill in the survey, the tell us about your service, self-service icon in the app, in the event app. We'd be very grateful if you could complete that survey. I'd like to say thank you. Thank you to Holly. Thank you to Zoe, who've been running around in the background, making everything tick, which is fantastic. And finally, thank you to you, our listeners, for taking the time to join us today. It's been a really cool day. Please select your roundtable sessions, go and jump in and get as much information as you can before the end of the day. Thank you very much indeed, everybody, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.